Hello, BookTube. I got a bit of a book haul here. There is also a record that I picked up when I was out. I went to a couple places. I went over to Listen, which is a charity shop, and then I went to it's an antique mall up in Quechee, Vermont, and I go there when I can. Both places are a bit of a drive for me, so I get there when I can. And today I have off because of Veterans Day. So to all you veterans, thank you for your service. Also I have been doing NaNoWriMo. Hit 17,200 and something words last night, which is on track. And I will do more tonight when I get back from some board meetings. But I thought I'd show you what I got while I have the time. The kids aren't home from school, and like I say, I had today off, which was nice. So one thing I got here was Verdi's La Traviata. This one has Anna Moffo, Richard Tucker, and Robert Merrill. And it's RCA Victor Red Seal. Beautiful thing. I got this thing for like $2. I have a lot of these albums. What's it say on the back? Important notice, this is a new orthophonic high-fidelity recording designed for the phonograph of today or tomorrow. So we're tomorrow, so we're okay. And this was given to somebody, a gift for John in 1961, which is a very good year. So, yeah, I'm glad to have this. I actually have autographs from all three of these artists that I named. So these are the records themselves, but there's a libretto in here. I checked the records and I checked the libretto. Now the thing with getting these long playing records at a charity shop is you really have to check the condition. I'm going to break this box, so I'm going to be a little careful grabbing this here. It's not meant to be on the bottom, but that's where somebody put it. There, let me do it like this. So, and then here's the libretto. Sometimes the art on these can be fun, and this is that dedication from 1961. Happy birthday, 1961. Here's some of the artwork. Many of you will know the opera. And here you go. So happy to have it. It'll go. Those of you who watch my Instagram knew I know that I struggled to clean, dust, and do all that and organize the LPs a little bit this week. So what do? I go out immediately and add to them. And but I will listen to this, not tonight. Like I say, I'm busy. But I will listen hopefully this weekend. So there is that. Good shape. Then I got some paperbacks. I'll do those first. The first one is Winter Rain, Terry Johnston. Very popular and prolific writer of Westerns. I have not read one in ages. I saw this thing here. So all except for one book, I got it Listen. So at Listen, the paperbacks, were 75 cents, and the hardbacks were $1. So this would have been 75 cents. It's Jonah Hook was a man who had lost everything a man could lose, but the iron will to reclaim what had been taken from him. But had that was the only thing he didn't lose. Boy, I should read that again. I just went. Oh well, you can figure out what I meant. Now he must confront the fiery religious heretic who has enslaved his wife and the fierce Comanche tribe who has raised his long-lost sons. Now, from the cover art, it looks like his long-lost sons join up with him. So they must be a formidable group. So there's that, a Western. No idea how good it is. If anybody knows, let me know. I have not read it. Then this is a very famous book. I've read it more than once. I just want to have it on my shelf for my kids if they ever get to the point where they want to read it. And this is Letters to a Young Scientist by Edward O. Wilson, the very famous scientist. It's a wonderful book. You see the ants crawling across the back here? That sort of threw me. But I read it in a hardback version, which is a very small book itself. In a lyrical and inspiration work that delivers deep insights into how observation and experiment drive theory, Pulitzer Prize-winning biologist Edward O. Wilson imparts his wisdom and passion to the next generation. In these 20 letters, Wilson shares rich autobiographical anecdotes that illuminate both the success and failures of his storied career. He boldly states that success in the sciences does not depend on mathematical skill or high IQ, but rather on a passion for finding a problem and solving it. Wilson lays out not just the practical advice for how young people can excel in science, but why it is vitally important that they do so. And this is a really good book. So I'm glad to have this. This next one, next year I'm hoping to shift things up a little bit in my reading. I've read quite a bit of science fiction and fantasy. I always read a lot of nonfiction. But years ago, I used to like to read thrillers, and I used to like to read mysteries. So next year, I'm hoping to maybe pick up on some of the mysteries. And this is an anthology. It's called Crime Classics: The Mystery Story from Poe to the Present. There you go. It's a Penguin thing. Edited by Rex Burns and Mary Rose Sullivan. And let's see, when did this come out? So this is about 1991. And I'll give you a list of some of the stories. They have a few by Edgar Allan Poe, Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Purloined Letter, a few from Arthur Conan Doyle, Scandal in Bohemia, Adventure of the Speckled Band, one by Jacques Futrell, who I don't know, The Problem of Cell 13, The Invisible Man by G.K. Chesterton, Jury of Her Peers by Suzanne Glasgow, The House on Turk Street by Dashiell Hammett, The Adventurous Exploit of the Cave of Ali Baba by Dorothy L. Sayers. I don't think I've read that. The Blue Geranium by Agatha Christie, Murder at the Automat by Cornell Woolrich, Hand Upon the Waters by William Faulkner, Death in the Compass by Borges, The Adventure of Abraham Lincoln's Clue by Ellery Queen, The Comforts of Home by Flannery O'Connor, The Sleeping Dog by Ross MacDonald, and Sadie When She Died by Ed McBain. So a lot of stuff in there I have not read and look forward to reading. This one was exciting to find. This is one of these Penguin Black Spine classics. This is D.H. Lawrence it's called D.H. Lawrence and Italy. And it includes, in these three masterful, often rhapsodic impressions of the Italian countryside, Lawrence transforms ordinary incident into passages of intense beauty. So we have Twilight in Italy. Let me see if I can do Sketches of Etruscan Places. And I went by one here. Oh, Sea in Sardinia. So I like this sort of thing. Well, I've not read these, so give it a shot, right? And this I got because it's a different translation than what I have. This is Polybius, the Histories, and it's a new translation by Robin Waterfield, and it's Oxford World Classics. So we will see. So that will go with the other volumes I have. Then we get into hardbacks. The first here is one I had not seen before, and this is Our Magnificent Bastard Tongue, The Untold History of English by John Mcwhorter, author of The Power of Babel. Nice little hardback here. He's got blurbs from Kirkus Review, Newsday, San Diego Union Tribune, and Steven Pinker. So there's our author. And he's a linguist. John Mcwhorter dives into the unique syntax of English and explains why no other language is like it. So always am up for these types of things. Some are really good, some maybe not so much, but got hopes. So this is another one that if you know about, just leave me a note. This next one is a volume that I've had before. And I really had most of this writer's books at one time. I only have his book about the lighthouses now of New England. And it's a shame because I really, really liked him. And when I was young, I read a lot of them. I like to have them in the library, my personal library, and I'd like to have them there so my kids, if they ever wanted to pick them up, could, and I could go back to them. And this is Edward Rowe Snow, Marine Mysteries and Dramatic Disasters of New England. There's our author. He was very famous as a flying Santa Claus, and he would drop presents, I believe, to the lighthouse keepers up and down the New England coast. This one seems to be signed by him. Who knows? Could be or couldn't be. I'm not really all that worried about that. It's a book club edition, so it probably doesn't matter much anyway. Dodd, Mead and Company, New York. And originally, about 1976. So, yeah, like I said, I had this book club edition. I'm sure a lot of his came out originally in really nice editions. I do see them occasionally, but they tend to be rather pricey. So, part one is along the waterfront. The Brinks Hold Up, the Molasses Disaster, a legendary, really sort of gross disaster that happened in Boston. There's actually a whole book just on that disaster. There may be on the Brinks Hold Up too, for all I know. And the Pickwick Club collapse. So then he has part two, from Massachusetts to Maine. So he has a Lawrence Mill disaster, America's First Revolution, Moll Pitcher, Fanny Campbell, Who Loved and Won, Nancy Brooke, A Clam Bake, Jameson, the Good Pirate, The Haunted Schoolhouse, Two Unbelievable Discoveries at Sea, Nun Gesser and Coley, Sharks, Dark Days in New England. Then part three's at sea, and this is where he's really at his best for me. That other stuff will be fun too. So he has the Fairfax Pintus disaster, the loss of the Royal Tar, the Walker expedition, the storm of 1804, the Nancy, the strange premonition or the loss of the rum chaser CG, which stands for Coast Guard, some of our veterans, 238, the Active and the Betsy, the sloop Trumbull, Longfellow and the Hesperus, St. Elmo's Fire, and Forbes in Ethiopia. So these will be fun. There are photos. A little section here in the middle. Let's see. And there's the, so here's the Nancy ashore at Nantasket Beach, excuse me. Right there on the bottom. So, love this sort of thing. I need to recollect his stuff. Here's an Eric Larson. This is one I've seen and I have not read. So I was glad to grab it for $1. And this is In the Garden of Beasts, Love, Terror, and an American Family in Hitler's Berlin. Right here. I'm sure many of you have read this. Let's see, we've got, oh, they just mentioned some of his other books. Devil in White City, Thunderstruck, Isaac Storm. Nice end papers. Hold that up a little longer so you can actually see it, instead of making everybody dizzy. Let's see, this came out about 2011, so not that long ago. Though I haven't really had much chance to look at it. I just know with his reputation as a writer, worth getting. This next one is going out on a limb for me. Out of my wheelhouse. When I was younger, I read a little light horror, Alfred Hitchcock type anthologies. I think the last real horror I really read, I think, what was it? I read Stephen King's Salem's Lot and really enjoyed that. But it was Clive Barker, sort of. Ooh. This is, I had a chance this summer to get a whole set of, what are these called? And they're all in great shape. They're big old giant paperbacks. They've got a list of this guy's books here. It was called the Necroscope series. And I mean, it was a pile of them like this. And I didn't get it because I shied away from it because of the horror aspect. Now I'm wondering if I made a mistake, although it'd be a huge investment in reading time. But I grabbed his book here that I've never seen before, and I grabbed it because of the cover, and I'm not taking much of a risk at $1. And this is Kai of Chem by Brian Lumley. Look at that cover. Doesn't get much creepier than that. Who do we have here? John Ferris gives him a bit of praise here in the back. So I have not read him. I mean, and there's all his books, or at least at the time of this. Pretty impressive. This thing came out 1980. This printing, this tour edition, is a first edition from 2004, and they changed the title up. This is Kai of Chem, and America was originally Kai of Ancient Chem, so he's corrected that. I'll just read you a little bit about it because I don't know much about it. Considered by many to be among Brian Lumley's greatest works, the exciting Kai of Chem is little known in the United States, not known by me at all. This time-traveling adventure story spans centuries and cultures in Lumley's trademark mix of horror and science fiction, much like his international best-selling Necroscope series. Like the Necroscope novels, Kai of Chem is packed with fast-paced action, hairbreadth escapes, all-consuming love, endless horror, and in the person of Kai himself, quick wits and bravery in the teeth of danger. So I'll give it, do they have a picture of the author in the back here? No, they just have a little bio. So I'll give it a shot. Never seen it before and don't know anything about it. So then these last two sort of go together, even though it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 novels in the first one. And this is for next year when I do the mysteries. So I'll revisit mysteries and I'll go to mysteries that I don't know anything about. These, for the most part, would be revisits. So these are Agatha Christie's Detectives, 5 complete novels on these Avenel volumes. I have these for a lot of my other authors. Paper's not always the greatest. See how it gets that tobacco color there. But they're nice because you have so much. This is copyright 1982 for this edition. These original copyrights are like in the 30s. 30s, 40s, yeah. So you have Murder to Vicarage is Miss Marple, Dead Man's Folly is Perot, Sad Cypress is Perot, Towards Zero is Superintendent Battle, yeah, and then Tommy and Tuppence are in, what is it, N or M? Yeah, N or M. The Tuppence ones I have not read. I don't know why. I've seen them around. I think they sort of just scared me off a little bit. I wasn't quite sure what they were. So, give them a shot, right? Not too bad. And then the only thing I picked up when I left Listen and went to the antique mall, and I got it for $5. It's a book club edition. I probably paid about what it's worth. It's not worth much more than that. But I haven't read it. Well-known book, and it's Agatha Christie also, and it's an autobiography. And there she is on the back. Sorry about the glare. It's just, I moved into this room trying to avoid glare, and it didn't do any good. So it's illustrated with photographs, Dodd Mead and Company, New York, 1977. But like I say, it is a book club edition, and they are, tell you that right there. And like I say, I have not read this. It does have photographs. I have seen the work referenced. There she is as a child. Monty's Dandy Dinmont, Scotty, painted by Baird. There we go. And oh, wait a minute, sorry about the glare. I'm actually really looking forward to reading this. I'll wait until the first of the year so that I can read it when I start doing the mysteries. But I'm piling up a little bit. I did get those little Penguin paperbacks of the Maigret novels, and I think that's sort of what got me thinking about it. And I've got a few others that have piled up. So just be a good change. I'm going to give it a shot. So I hope you're all doing well. Like I say, I can go ahead and try one of these Donahue Pyramids. I'm not going to do it with the LP, the opera there. I'm not going to take a chance of damaging it. So let's see, we get the, gotta have a system. You get the hardbacks, and you get the big paperbacks, and then you get the little ones. So it was a pretty good day. It was fun having some time off so I can wander around. Not a bad pile of reading. Like I say, I'll get to the mysteries after the turn of the year, and I hope you're all doing well, and we will talk to you later. Thank you.